Positive people. 9191.
It's 919 in case you didn't hear it the first time. Welcome back to the show. If you have just tuned in, 21 minutes after 1, welcome to the midday exchange. And we're doing like we always do cool stuff. Like cool stuff always happens on the show. I can't think of a dull moment. Can you think of a dull moment on the show?
Not a single one.
I guess I paid you enough this week.
You paid me with beautiful messages.
Ah, there we go. So as you know, it is that time of the afternoon, getting to spend some time with someone very special. Petra Laranjo is an award-winning author, international speaker, and well-being specialist. Today, she shares the story of losing her mom to colon cancer when she was 23 and how that shaped the way she approaches preventative health. Are you okay?
I'm good. Thanks, Paulie. Yeah, that was going on 24 years ago already.
Oh.
So she's been out of my life for as long as she was in it. So, yeah.
I was saying to you not like earlier today that I know that this thing when Jess's mom, and I don't talk about it because it's not for most people to know, and because it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Jess's mom passed in November, and I had a very, very, very special connection with Janet. Janet and I were very close. And it's weird because there's no goodbye and it's very, very strange, you know? So I guess talking about preventative health today really does, it really kind of comes full circle, you know? And if you're comfortable sharing, what do you remember most about the time your mom was diagnosed?
So, why I wanted to speak about this topic today is because it is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. So that, of course, brings this up where it's really close to my heart to share. And if this is going to help even one person listening or someone that you love to go get checked. But the biggest thing was that, we're raised to be so strong and so tough. So when something goes wrong with our bodies, we don't always pay attention. And I've been guilty of that, and I still am guilty of that. So as much as I've learned, I'll push you to go get checked, but I will still think that I'm fine, think that I'm strong. And with my mom, she kept complaining about issues in her stomach. She went to doctors or a GP who said, no, it was just IBS. And I had IBS for many, many years. So I knew what it was like. And I said to her, Mom, this isn't IBS. Go get a second opinion. And she didn't. For whatever reasons, I never got to ask her. When you're 23, you don't think of certain concepts to have. And I was also in denial, and I was, in fear and terror. And eventually she collapsed. And rushed her to the hospital. They did scans, and unfortunately, they didn't do the scans properly. And they said, no, she's fine. There's nothing wrong. And then 6 months later, she collapsed again, and that's when they did more scans at a different hospital, and they said, look, everything was there on the scan. It was just blurry, but all the cancer masses were all there on the original scan. So one of the biggest things was, that Mom just took the advice of a GP. Secondly, that she didn't really tune into her body and say, how
something's wrong.
How intense is this pain? How intense is this discomfort? And not to make yourself wrong and that you're not strong enough, but rather this is an area of my body that I don't understand. Let me go get a second opinion.
100%.
So for me, it's the second opinions.
Yes,
it's blind faith for someone that has a title behind their name. And saying, okay, thank you for your opinion, but this is my life, this is my body, this is my being, and insist. I really got angry with my mom afterwards, after she passed, because I thought if she'd insisted, if she had told the doctor, you're not listening to me, this is what I'm experiencing in my body, maybe things could have been different. Maybe we would have got the diagnosis earlier.
100%. How did that experience shape the way you think about your own health today?
So in many ways, like I mentioned, I'm very protective of those that I care about. And I will, at the drop of a hat, say, Paul, here's a specialist, go see them. For me, on the other hand, so you'd think that I would have learned that lesson, but I think it's so deeply rooted in being strong and getting through it. I mean, I got COVID 3 times.
Sure.
I got pneumonia. Didn't go to the doctor because I'm like, no, I'll be fine at home. Couldn't speak for days. Exactly that. But that was many years ago. Now, the last couple of years, obviously, what would it have been? The last 3 years, maybe. Now that I've really started developing a relationship with my body and really acknowledging my body and saying, look, I couldn't be doing this life without you.
Yeah.
I need to take better care of you. I need to honor you. And what do you need?
Yes.
So now when I get different pain or discomforts, I check in with my body straight away.
You sit with it for a little bit.
Completely. And look at, well, what is this intensity trying to tell me? And it's not to, come across as someone that looks for problems with the smallest thing that happens. I still don't. But I am paying more attention. And I think that's the invitation to everyone listening today.
Absolutely.
Is just pay more attention. Look at where the intensity is and ask yourself, what is this on a scale of 1 to 10? What could it be? Don't just diagnose me. Now we've got ChatGPT, which we didn't back then, where maybe it could have helped ask more questions or ask better questions back then. Could have helped. But really, it's about get different opinions, get different feedback. Don't just go to one generalist or one specialist. Try different modalities as well.
Sure. Why do you think people like you and I delay the screenings or ignore the early symptoms?
Busyness, perhaps, is we're so busy we don't have time to, because what if, and then now I need to deal with it.
I feel like it's about being afraid of the unknown.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that is something that keeps most people stuck. So we can say that it's because we're busy, we don't have time, but how many times is there an underlying fear of the unknown? And I mean, that's how our brains are designed. It's systematic to protect us, to preserve us. So we will avoid doing anything that we don't have certainty on.
Sure.
Any kind of fear where, well, what if there is something wrong? But what I learned with Mom is the sooner you can find out if there is something wrong, because 6 months prior, if they had caught it,
you might have been living a different life.
Complete, my whole life would have been so different.
Looking back now, what do you wish more people understood about early detection?
So early detection, whether it's with our bodies, whether it's with relationships, so whatever early detection looks like, that's why I want to broaden the conversation a little bit, is, we could stay stuck in a job or feel stuck, that we aren't fulfilled anymore, that isn't serving us, that isn't contributing to our well-being or our growth. We could stay in relationships that are doing the same. And because we don't want the discomfort, because we don't want to feel uncomfortable, we don't want to feel pain that we're unsure of, that we haven't experienced yet, we rather stay.
100%.
We don't explore, we don't ask questions, we don't go further. And that's really in life, in health, in business, whatever that looks like, is my invitation to everyone listening is have the conversation, because it might sting and be painful in these 10 seconds, but your whole life literally might depend on it.
100%.
And, the fear is recognizing the fear that it's physiological. It's part of our chemistry.
Of course.
It's how we're wired. And that's okay. So fear...
It's a natural part.
And it doesn't need to be feared.
Yeah, no, agreed.
If we can just use it as an indication and a support to say, okay, body, thank you. It just shows me that I'm alive, that I care. And what else is possible, which is one of my favorite questions, right?
No, of course.
Instead of going into the fear, because also the more we stay in the fear, the more
you sit on it, and you sit on it, and you sit on it, and you wonder, and you live in your head, and you go crazy.
And it exponentializes. So the more we sit in the fear, the bigger the fear becomes. And then, of course, it takes us longer and it delays the process.
Of course. When I was in hospital last year, when they found that object on my lung, and they were doing all sorts of tests and stuff like that, and I'm 49 now, so it's about that time where boys and men need to be checked, and especially that I have a genetic history of this thing. So I went and had Jess said, it's a blood test now. Go and have your prostate specific antigen called PSA, and they take a blood test and they tell you what stage your prostate is in. And the doctor came back and said, you have the prostate of a 40-year-old. And I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. So, and it was just, at that stage, it was just overcoming, like, what if, and especially with my dad having had it before, going, like, I don't know. And then I just thought, you know what? It's 5 seconds of my life.
Yeah.
They're already doing tests.
Yeah.
Let's just get it done.
Absolutely. It's not overthinking it.
It's nerve-wracking is what it is.
Look, I had 2 colonoscopies shortly after and after I found out that there was nothing wrong with my colon, but of course I went in straight into fear. And my dad went into panic as well. So it got me into the hospital as soon as possible, got the colonoscopies done, made sure that they were done properly. For me, it was stress that I hold in my gut. And now it's a don't overthink it.
Absolutely.
Because I've got people that I love so dearly that I want to throttle, Paul.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they just need to go do something. Yes. They're like, oh, but P, I'm scared or I'm nervous. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't care.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah.
So we know.
Exactly.
Because then at least if it's early enough, whatever it is, we can get it fixed. We can get it done.
Yeah, we can get it looked at. Absolutely.
And at least we can all... then we know.
Yeah, if we need to cry together, we can all cry together.
Exactly, as opposed to just being worried in fear, because that also affects our well-being, our physiological well-being, our emotional well-being, because it's constantly in the back of our mind.
It is.
Versus getting it done, getting it fixed, getting the solutions.
Yeah, agreed. When we come back, we can take a little music break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what is that small step that we could take and how do we shift from the fear to empowerment. We'll do that when we come back. If you have any questions or you'd like anything to add, 084 22 919. It is Lenny Kravitz. I saw Lenny Kravitz in, I think it was 1999 or 2000. He was at the Dome.
No.
And it was my first ever concert I'd ever been to in my whole life. I've never been to a concert. And I went to, and he did his whole thing. And that was it. Thank you very much, South Africa, Johannesburg, blah, blah. And off he walked. And I thought, is that it? Is that it? And he came back on and he did an encore.
Yeah.
You'll never guess in a billion years what his encore was. Ram Jam Black Betty.
My favorite.
I lost my mind. It was so great.
Okay, so for next week before the show, that's the song.
It's done.
Okay, fantastic.
That's a done deal.
Boogieing in the studio, and we'll film it.
So coming back to our chat, for someone listening right now who might be putting off a screening, what is the one small step that they could take this week?
Don't overthink it. Just book it. So right now, and I'd love to hear from our listeners, from our viewers that watch the recording, what is just one thing that you can do right now? No overthinking.
Yeah.
If it's literally calling someone to get a referral, phoning, I almost said the vet, phoning the doctor or the vet, it could be. I mean, I've just booked my little one in who's 15 to get her teeth cleaned, and I have been procrastinating this last week.
Yeah.
Because 15, they do the blood test, and it's how we found out my previous girl had cancer.
Oh, sure.
But again, luckily, because we did the blood test, found it was early stages. So if we'd found it later, she wouldn't have been with us for longer than a few months. She stayed with me for another 2 years.
Sweet.
So again,
just do it. I know it's
no overthinking. I'm actually going to send this recording to my friends who have been delaying doing certain things.
I've got a book at home, and I don't know if you've, I don't know if you might or might not have seen it. And it says, "The Fear and Do It."
Oh no, I haven't.
I will bring it for you.
Please. Okay.
It like I can't always. We're not allowed to fluke.
No. Beep.
Yeah. It's called "The Fear and Do It."
Love that.
I'll bring it for you.
Amazing. Use fear as the resource. Use fear as fuel.
Yeah.
To say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is the intensity that I'm feeling. What does this say about me? What is this saying to me? And now let's just get it done. So work with your body, work with your relationship, work with your life, work with your business, and just do it.
I feel like for me, it's not difficult. It's you can either live with this, and you can live with it. You can live with the pain, and you can live with the discomfort, or you could just get on with it. So choose your uncomfortable.
Exactly. And also, if you are going for a procedure, you're going to the doctor, it's maybe a lot more intense. The fear is a lot more intense leading up to it. But then it dissipates and it's gone, because then you feel empowered to do what you need to. And also remember, doing something like this is a muscle. The quicker you can make a decision, the more you can address your fears,
Absolutely.
the more action you can take, the stronger you'll get.
There's less living in your head.
Completely. I mean, things that I do now where some friends are shocked. Like, P, you are so brave. I'm like, I don't see it as brave because I've gotten used to being uncomfortable.
100%.
And one of my keynotes that I speak about is get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's it.
Because that's how you can start living fully. Living so conservatively and in fear. And what if I say something that's going to change the course of life? Now is the time to take the proverbial steering wheel of our lives
and get on with it.
And decide where we want our lives to go.
Absolutely. How do we shift from that fear of knowing to empowering through knowing?
So I think first would be to check in with, why are you so scared of getting the test, having the conversation, doing whatever needs to be done? Asking yourself that, because so many times, again, we create these massive stories in our head because we are very creative.
Yes.
We're very imaginative. We can go down these wonderful loopholes. So just catch yourself in it. Like, well, is this true, or is this just an assumption? 9 times out of 10, it's an assumption. And it could be saying, well, the last time I did this, or the last time someone went to the doctor, because it was, let's say, my dad or my mom, the last time they went, it turned out to be cancer or whatever it is. And because it's in my DNA, it will probably be the same. We don't know that. So get out of the story that you're making up. Know that, yes, maybe something's going to be uncomfortable, whether it's the actual procedure, the conversation, the choice that you're making, but be aware first. So let's frame it in terms of a conversation. There's a really hard discussion that you need to have. That's where I would encourage someone to do the work for yourself first.
That's it.
So, versus just lashing out reactively and emotionally, do the work first, because if you've done the work, you have almost a baseline of self-confidence.
And there's an element of preparedness.
Yes.
What are those early signs that people often overlook?
Frustration, anxiety, avoidance is a really, really big one. Distraction also is huge. Because I will stay distracted.
Do anything else but that.
Well, that's where we start getting addictions. Whether it's sport or whether it's substance abuse. Because we try to stay distracted from what actually needs and requires our attention.
When should we realistically look at starting to talk to our doctor about that screening, other than as soon as possible?
I think, look, because this is not my field of expertise at all, so I don't want to throw any suggestions out there in case. So I'll just frame it for me personally. For me, I would look at, yes, family history, but we know that family history isn't an exact science, and it doesn't guarantee that you are going to get whatever your family got, because we do know that lifestyle also affects it. And by lifestyle, including your emotions, managing your emotions, managing trauma, because our bodies store trauma. I mentioned to you off air that I had epilepsy for 23 years.
Yes.
And that was trauma that was stored because of my mom's passing.
Gotcha.
And because it wasn't hereditary, I'd had 2 brain trauma before from 2 falls, and then all the emotions, the stress from losing my mom is what triggered the epilepsy. So I had epilepsy for 23 years. I did so many different things.
And then just like that.
Well, I started
taking action.
And the action for me, because I did try other alternative therapies that didn't work. So there I would just say, just be careful, be cautious of what you're doing. Don't just go off the meds, please, God. Don't just go off the meds, which is what I did, because I was like, let's try this. I started doing the one modality that I do, which is access consciousness and access bars. Started doing that regularly, which is what helps our nervous systems let go of the trauma. So many times we own something. I was getting my nails done a while back, and I saw someone sitting opposite me, and on her whole forearm, she had tattooed diabetes. I don't remember if it was type 1 or type 2. And it was really startling for me, where maybe it's in case something happens to her, people know, could be it.
It's quite it's actually a thing. It's become a thing nowadays where instead of the medical alert bracelet, somebody actually has that because you can lose a medical alert bracelet. So, and I thought to myself, I liked it. I don't have any tattoos, but I like tattoos, and I thought, what an ingenious idea.
Yeah. Well,
unless you lose your arm, of course.
But there's the two parts to that, right? Like if I had owned that I had epilepsy and I tattooed it on my arm, I would have just accepted it because I was looking at it every day.
Yeah.
So there is that element as well. So yes, there's the practical side, but I never owned that I was an epileptic. I used to say I have epilepsy, I experience seizures, but I never owned it.
Yes.
So that's also something for me that makes me nervous when I saw that and was across her whole forearm. I'm like, but everything can, be treated to some point. So I'm not saying that everything can be cured. I mean, that would be amazing. But to not own what we have been diagnosed with necessarily.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's a whole nother deeper conversation for that.
100%.
But I think it's definitely looking at what am I owning, whether it's the fear or whether it's a diagnosis or whether it's an assumption.
Or acceptance.
Or an acceptance, exactly. But do the inner work as well.
Yeah, got you. Just one thing. It's I say it every week. It's just my most favorite thing because it's the one thing I get to look forward to and practice a little bit. If someone listening today takes one simple action after hearing this conversation, what is that one thing?
The one thing for me is look at an area in your life, whether it's your body, your mind, your being, your business, that is bringing you unease or discomfort. Not just a little bit of irritability or a little bit of frustration, but it's really, really getting to you. It's starting to affect your well-being, whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, relational, or any of the other dimensions. And look at that area and ask it questions. What is this? Some of the questions in the work that I do, Access Consciousness, is what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how? Is ask yourself that question. And that's the power of one. That's the power of just one thing. We're not asking you to go do everything today and be overwhelmed and
just
go to every area in your life as well, because then we do nothing, because then it just becomes too much.
Let's just have the conversation.
Have the conversation. Do the thing. Start with your inner reflection first. Always start there, or else we become reactive.
Yeah.
And reactive means that we aren't being creative, we aren't grounded, we aren't open to possibilities because we're going into survival.
Yeah.
And survival mode is not what's going to help you make intelligent decisions.
Agreed. If we want to listen or watch again or see your pretty face, where can we find you? Where can we find you?
Thank you, Paulie. So Petra Lorenzo.
Why am I the one who's blushing, guys?
Because you're pretty.
Don't be scared to have the conversation. I know that it's difficult and I know that it makes you uncomfortable. Just have the conversation. It will, I promise from my personal experience, it can only get better.
Paul, absolutely. Is feel empowered. Know that you are ultimately the only one that has full control of your life.
Absolutely.
And just do the thing. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make a big story about it. Don't make it significant.
Yeah.
Hashtag just do it.
Just do the thing. Friend, thank you again. I believe you. I believe you're on a holiday soon.
I am. 4 weeks time.
Are you going to bring us a t-shirt?
I will bring you a t-shirt if that's what you absolutely require.
I like t-shirts and socks. If you have a look at my if you have a look at my socks today, I'm a sock person.
Oh,
I have broccoli on my socks.
That's one of my favorite vegetables. Now, as an adult, not when I was young. Yay for broccoli socks.
Friend, thank you so much. We will do this all again. Do we have a little tease for next week?
Yes. So next week, also tying in with our, it's our bodies, our emotions, our minds, but it's more on the neurological side.
Gotcha.
So looking at our brains, what they are, how they preserve us, and if we aren't looking after them, what is the flip side?
Gotcha.
So that's also got a very powerful story that links to today.
I'm excited.
And me too.
I am excited. So we'll do this same place, same time, and always lovely talking to you and feeling just a little more at ease and a little more inspired.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.